Hello children, today we will do some important questions of chapter 5 Arithmetic Progression exercise 5.1. In our last video, we have learned the nth term, the formula for nth term of an AP, and today you will learn how to find out whether this one given series or given sequence is an AP or not. So let's do the important questions of the exercise. Now, first of all, we will take first question, second part. In this case, first you will have to write down all the terms of the sequence as per the instruction of the question. And then you have to check whether it is an AP or not. So the statement of the question is the amount of air present in a cylinder when a vacuum pump removes 1/4 of the air remaining in the cylinder at a time. So you have to make the AP of the amount of air present, amount of air present, amount of air present in the cylinder. Okay, you have to write a sequence of the amount of air present in the cylinder. So let's assume that the total of the air present in the cylinder is X. When you pump, 1/4 of it get removes. That means 3/4 of X is remaining in it. Now, next time when you pump, the total of the air which is present in the cylinder is 3/4X. And the remaining will be, if it was X, then the remaining is 3/4 of X. So if it is 3/4 at present, that means the remaining would be 3/4 of the gas present. That is 3/4 of 3/4X. Now next time, this is the remaining air. 9/16X is the remaining air. That means the present air now present in the cylinder is 9/16. And when you pump, 3/4 of it will remain. So 3/4 of 9/16 will remain. Now what do you have in the cylinder? You will have 27/64 of X. So this is the remaining, and when you pump, it will remain 3/4 of the present in it. So that means 3/4 of 27/64X. जितनी सिलेंडर के अंदर है उसकी 3/4 बचेगी, 1/4 रिमूव हो जाएगी. सो अगर X थी तो बची है 3/4. अगर 3/4 थी तो उसका 3/4 बचेगी. That means next time when you pump, you will have 9/16X in the cylinder, and when you pump, 3/4 of this will release. So that means you will left with 27/64X. So these all the terms, the total present in the cylinder every time will make the sequence terms of this sequence. So the first term will be X. The second term will be 3/4X. Third term will be 9/16X. The fourth term will be 27/4X, and so on. Now we have to see whether this sequence is an AP or not. So D1, we will find out the common difference. You know that the common difference is the difference between the two consecutive terms. So this is A2 minus A1. A2 is 3/4X and A1 is X. So when you subtract, you get minus 1/4. Let's find out D2. D2 is A3 minus A2. A3 is 9/16. And you have to subtract the second term out of it, that is 3/4X will be subtracted. and you are left with minus 3 by 16x. So the two D's you have calculated are not equal. That indicates that it is not an AP, and therefore you will stop checking. The moment you will get that common difference is changing, that means this cannot be an AP, and you will stop your checking. So children, this way you'll be doing. Now next question. Question number 2, and in this question, you have to write down first 4 terms of the AP, when the first term A and the common difference is given to you. So A is equal to minus 1.25 and D is given 0.25. You know children, we get the next term of the AP by adding the common difference to the preceding as per the definition of AP. If you add the common difference to the previous term, you will get the next term of the AP. So if you have first term as minus 1.25 and difference as minus 0.25, so you will add this difference in the first term, the given term, you will get the next term of the AP. You want to find out the second term, so add common difference in the first one. The first one is minus 1.25 plus कीजिए इसमें minus of 0.25, and it will give you the second term of the AP as minus 1.50. Similarly, now this is the second term. If you want to find out the third term, that means common difference इसमें add करना पड़ेगा. So the second term is minus 1.50. Add कर दिया इसमें 0.25. Since both are negative, they will be added and you will get 1 minus 1.75. Similarly, A3 you have calculated minus 1.75. To get the next term, you have to add the common difference into it. So this will become minus 0.25 and it is minus 2 only. This is one way by the definition of AP. This is by definition of AP. You may do this question in another way by using the nth term formula for nth term of AP. You know AN is equal to A plus N minus 1D. That means if you want to find out the second term, you have to add 1 less than that. This is the formula. If it is A10, that means this will be A plus 9D. So whatever number you have here, the coefficient of D is 1 less than that. Coefficient of D is 1 less than that. Similarly, if you want to find out the second term, the coefficient of D will be 1 less than that. So that is A plus D. D, you know, is negative of 0.25, so it will become minus 1.50. If you want to get third term, you will add A plus 1 less than the third term. That means 2 times D you will be adding. So this is minus 1.25 plus 2 times D, and it will become minus 1.75. If you want to get the fourth term, it will be A plus 3D. So this is 0.25 multiplied by 3 and will give you minus 2. So you are able to see that in whatever manner you will calculate, either by using the definition or by using the formula for nth term of AP, you are getting the same. Whichever you find convenient, you may use in this way, but you must know both the methods. So now children, let's do one more question. Let's do question number 4. Check if it is an AP, the given sequence is an AP. And if it is an AP, find the common difference D and write 3 more terms of that. So the first question is fourth question, fifth part. See, I'm taking only the tricky parts of this exercise since this exercise is very easy. So by these examples, you will be comfortable in solving all the type of questions. Plus, you will see the difficulty level and learn them how to solve. Now this is D1. He want you to check whether it is an AP or not. If it is an AP, children, you will find out all the possible D's up to the given terms. That means if there are 1, 2, 3 and 4 terms are given, how many D's you are able to calculate? So first D is when you subtract A2 minus A1. And the second D will be when you subtract A3, A2 minus A3. And the third D you will get when you will subtract A3 from A4. So the given terms are 4. So you are able to get 3 Ds. जितनी terms दी गई हैं उसमें जितने D possible हैं आप वो सारे D निकाल करके देखेंगे. सभी D equal आने चाहिए. So D1 is equal to A2 minus A1. A2 is 3 plus root 2, square root 2. उसमें से subtract कर दिया आपने A1, that is minus 3. And you got that this is equal to square root 2. Now we will check for the next two consecutive terms. That means D2 will be A3 minus A2. So A3 is 3 plus 2 root 2. इसमें से आपने subtract किया उससे previous term. That means 3 plus square root 2. When you will subtract, it will cancel and you will again get square root 2. Now find out D3. So that means A4 minus A3. And when you will subtract, you will get again square root 2. So every time, how many D's were possible? 3 D's were possible. When I'll take this minus this, when I'll take this minus this, and when I will take this minus this. Okay, children? So 3 D's were possible with the given terms. And I've checked for all. After that, this dot 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 is there. So we will check for all the terms before the dots. Find out all the possible D's. And if all the D's are coming equal, then you will say that this is an AP. And if it is an AP, you are able to get D here. You are able to see what is A here. A is 3. And D you got is a square root 2. Therefore, the fifth term, he wants us to find out fifth term, sixth term, and seventh term. So by applying the formula of nth term, A5 is equal to A plus, what is the number you have here? 5. So you will write 4D, 1 less than that. A plus 4D. So this is 3 plus 4 square root 2. Now, if it is A6, then you will write A plus 5D. So A is 3, D is square root 2, and children, the coefficient of D is 5. So it is 3 plus square root 5. 5 is square root 2. And then if you want to get 7, A7, you will write A plus 6D. A is 3, D is square root 2, and the coefficient of D is 6. So the seventh term will be 3 plus 6 square root 2. Now again, let's see one more very important sequence. Here we have all the numbers same. Minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, and minus 1 by 2. We have to see in this case, is it an AP or not? So again, we will be finding D1, D2, and D3 as there are 4 terms given to us. So A2 minus A1, that is 0. A3 minus A2, again minus half plus half, 0. A4 minus A3 minus half plus half gives you 0. So children, in all the cases, you got that D1, D2 and D3 all are equal and they are equal to 0. They are all equal to 0. So this condition of the AP, that the common difference should remain the same always, is maintained here even. Every time D is constant, that is 0. So if D is constant, every time if it is same, we can say that it is an AP. So therefore, this given sequence is an AP. It, for future, you all must learn if we have all the terms same of a sequence, then that sequence is an AP. Now we have to find out A5, A6 and A7. So all the terms will remain the same since D is 0. So when you subtract 0, you will find the same term again and again. Therefore, A5 is also minus 1 by 2. A6 is also minus 1 by 2. And A7 is also minus 1 by 2. Now one very, very tricky question of the exercise, the last question of this video. Children, you have to check whether square root 2, then square root 8, then square root 18, then square root 32 are making an AP or not. So A is the first term of the AP and which is given equal to square root 2. Let's simplify them to see what is given as the second term. So when you simplify, you will get 3 times 2 and 1 2 will move out of the square root and therefore it is 2 square root 2. A3 can be written as 3 into 3 into 2, that will become square root 18. Then 3 will move out and it is 3 square root 2. And A4 is 32, which is 4 into 4 into 2. 4 fours are 16 into 2. So 4 is there in pair. So that means this 4 will move out. So whenever the pair is there, it moves out of the square root. So it is 4 square root 2. So these are the terms of the AP when I simply, of the given sequence when I simplify them. Now I have to check whether they are the terms of an AP or not. So whenever I want to check whether they are the terms of an AP or not, I will find out all the possible D's. So D1 will be A2 minus A1, that is 2 root 2 minus square root 2, that is square root 2. D2 will be A3 minus A2, that is 3 square root 2 minus 2 square root 2, again square root 2. D3 is A4 minus A3, that means 4 square root 2 minus 3 square root 2, that means this is again square root 2. So you got a D1, D2 and D3 all are coming same, that is equal to square root 2. Therefore, this is an AP. Now we need to find out the fifth, sixth and seventh term of the AP. We are able to observe the pattern. A1 was square root 2, A2 is 2 square root 2, A3 is 3 square root 2, A4 is 4 square root 2. So if I ask what will be A5, that will be 5 square root 2. If I ask what is A6, that will be 6 square root 2. If I ask what is 7, A7, so that will be 7 square root 2. But children, we have to answer in the same manner the question is given to us. So it is answer is not given in mixed surd form. It is a pure surd. Everything is inside the square root. So your answer should also be in the same format. So 5, when you take inside, you will write 2 times 5 since it is inside the square root now. And when you multiply and simplify the number inside the square root, it will become 50. So the fifth term of the AP is square root 50. The sixth term similarly will be square root 72. Similarly, the seventh root will be square root 98. I hope you are able to understand. That's all for this video.